Ever get that like mini heart attack moment? You know that one when your computer decides to completely freeze on you right before a big deadline? It's like this instant pit in your stomach, that feeling of, ugh, this is going to cost me.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, today's deep dive is all about making sure that feeling stays firmly in the mini category. Even when we're talking about, the tech that powers your entire business. We're diving into IT, but don't worry, no jargon allowed. Think of it like your crash course in cost-effective IT solutions, the kind that's specifically designed for businesses who want to, use tech like a pro, but without needing that Silicon Valley budget.
Music to my ears.
And our guide today is EAG Inc. They're out there actually doing this stuff, providing these solutions to businesses across a bunch of different industries, even some with seriously complex needs like oil and gas. And they're going to help us unpack some really interesting strategies, especially when it comes to IT outsourcing. So let's just, address the elephant in the server room, shall we? Why should businesses, especially those who might not see themselves as a tech company, why even care about having top-notch IT? Isn't it just like another expense at the end of the day?
See, that's where things get really interesting. Because technology, it's not this separate thing anymore. It's like,
Core.
it's the engine, the invisible engine. That's driving businesses, big or small, it doesn't matter. Think about it. Your customer data, your online store, even how you communicate with your own team, it's all riding on technology, actually functioning the way it's supposed to.
Right, and functioning smoothly.
Exactly. And that mini heart attack you mentioned earlier with the computer freeze. Now imagine that, but like magnified
Right.
across your entire operation. Suddenly, not so many anymore, is it?
Definitely not. Talk about a roadblock to growth, right?
And that's what I think EAG Inc.
Mm-hmm.
really gets right. They understand the effective IT. It's not just about keeping the lights on, so to speak. It's about giving you an edge, a competitive one. It can be the difference between honestly struggling to keep up and actually getting ahead.
So then how does a smaller business even begin to compete on that level, especially if they don't exactly have the resources to go and build out a massive IT department from scratch? That's the beauty of IT outsourcing. Imagine having a whole team of experts like the folks at EAG Inc.
Yeah.
essentially becoming like an extension of your business, a strategic partner,
Yeah.
dedicated to making sure your tech is working for you, not against you.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. But let's break that down a bit. For those of us who might still be using the term the Google, completely unironically, what does IT outsourcing actually look like in practice? Well, for starters, it's definitely more than just having someone to call when the Wi-Fi goes out. It's about taking this holistic look at your tech needs. I'm talking everything. Cybersecurity, cloud computing, data management, the whole nine yards. EAG Inc., for example, they basically become your IT department. They handle it all. The mundane stuff like software updates, all the way to the more complex stuff, data backup, disaster recovery, you name it. They're proactively monitoring your systems 24/7, so if something does go wrong, they're already on it, often before it can even impact your business.
So it's less about putting out fires and more about fire prevention.
Sure. Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens. Proactive maintenance, monitoring, all that can save you a ton of time, money, headaches, you name it, in the long run. Just imagine. A server issue decides to show up at 2:00 a.m. With managed IT services, EAG Inc. is on it. Problem solved before you even roll out of bed and check your email. No frantic calls to tech support, no lost productivity, just smooth sailing for your business.
Okay, that's pretty impressive. But how does a business owner know? How do they know when they've reached that point, the point where they need that level of support?
$1 million question, right? And it is different for every business. But here's a good place to start. Ask yourself, are you constantly putting out tech fires instead of, focusing on your actual business goals? Are you delaying those important software updates because you just don't have the time or the expertise? Losing sleep over cybersecurity threats but feeling kind of lost on how to actually tackle them? If you answered yes to even one of those, it might be time to, at least consider outsourcing. Think of it like this.
Like finally hiring a professional cleaner after years of telling yourself, I can handle this myself.
There you go. And you're not just getting things cleaned, you're getting time back, energy back, peace of mind. And in the business world, that is invaluable.
It's like freeing yourself up to actually work on your business, not just in it, which I think is a concept that resonates with a lot of entrepreneurs. Now, EAG Inc., they offer this whole buffet of IT solutions, things like managed IT services, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and it's all designed to be scalable and, very importantly, budget-friendly. So let's dig into each of these a bit deeper and see how they actually translate to, cost savings and efficiency for a business. Let's start with managed IT services. What does that actually look like in action?
Okay, so managed IT services, think of it like having a dedicated tech team, on call 24/7, but without all the extra costs, no salaries, no benefits, no office pizza parties to worry
Right?
about.
Because those can add up.
Oh, absolutely. But in this case, EAG Inc., they basically become your IT department. The virtual kind. They handle all those essential things, software updates, security patches, data backups, all that stuff that's, easy to put off when you're busy actually running a business.
It's like the business version of I'll get to that leaky faucet eventually.
Exactly. And, that's where the real value kicks in, being proactive. Proactive maintenance, proactive monitoring, it can save you so much time, money, stress in the long run.
Just picture this, okay? It's 2:00 a.m. and suddenly, boom, server issue. But with managed IT services, EAG Inc. is already on it. Problem solved potentially before you even know it happened. No frantic calls to tech support. You're not losing any productivity, just, seamless. Your business keeps humming along. It's like having that friend who always seems to spot the stain on your shirt before a big meeting. Lifesaver. Okay, so we've tackled managed IT services. What about this whole cloud computing thing? It seems like, I don't know, everyone and their dog is using that term these days, but how does it actually benefit a smaller business? Like, what are the tangible benefits?
It's a great question. And it is way more than just a buzzword. Think back to, the old days when businesses needed those massive, expensive servers taking up space, like a whole room dedicated to these things. Cloud computing is like, what if we get rid of all of that? Instead of having your data and software on physical servers that you own, you're essentially renting space on this massive network of servers, all accessed through the internet. It's kind of like
Trading in your clunky old CD collection for a sleek streaming service. All the music you could want, but without the physical clutter.
you got it. And the best part, you only pay for what you actually use. So, need more storage? No problem, you scale up. Things slowing down a bit, scale it back down just as easily. It's this flexibility that makes it so perfect for smaller businesses. No huge upfront costs, just a predictable monthly expense.
So you're saving on those initial hardware costs, and you've got the flexibility to adjust as your business needs change. That's huge. Okay, let's talk about something that, frankly, keeps me up at night. Cybersecurity. It feels like every other day there's a new data breach in the news. And it's not just big corporations getting hit anymore either. How can a smaller business even begin to wrap their heads around protecting themselves, especially when they're already, juggling a million other things?
And you're right to be thinking about it. Cybersecurity is not optional anymore. It's essential for businesses of all sizes. And what I find so interesting is how much EAG Inc. gets that, especially in industries like, oil and gas, where the stakes are even higher.
Right, because a data breach in an industry like that, it's not just about financial losses. There could be much wider consequences.
Absolutely. And that's why their approach to cybersecurity is so interesting. They don't do the whole one-size-fits-all thing. They actually work with you to figure out your specific vulnerabilities. And then they build a customized plan. Firewalls, anti-malware software, even training your employees. They'll even help you put together those really important data security policies. It's about building up those layers of defense, but tailored to your business and the industry you're in.
So it's like having, your own personal security expert, making sure nobody's sneaking in through the back door of your, digital fortress.
Okay, but let's get down to brass tacks here.
Really?
Let's say someone's listening to this and they're thinking, okay, I'm sold. I need to look into this IT outsourcing thing. What questions should they be asking potential partners, to make sure it's the right fit for them?
It really is like dating, but for your business's tech needs.
You don't want to jump into a long-term contract with just anyone.
Exactly. Compatibility is key here. So first things first, don't be afraid to ask about experience. Specifically, experience in your industry. That's what I like about EAG Inc. They're really upfront about their experience in those more, specialized fields, like oil and gas, which is going to be totally different from, say, supporting a bookstore. Makes sense. You want someone who speaks your language.
100%. And then really dig into those security protocols. How do they handle emergencies? What's the plan if there's a data breach? Get really clear on the pricing. Are there hidden fees? And this is a big one. Make sure they're actually interested in, your business, what makes you unique, and that they're willing to tailor their solutions to fit your needs. Don't settle for a one-size-fits-all approach.
Find that IT soulmate.
Exactly. And just like dating, don't be shy about asking for references. Talk to other businesses. Find out what their experience was like. Would they recommend them? Those are the things you need to know.
Solid advice. So as we wrap up our deep dive into, making IT affordable, what's the big takeaway here? What do you want our listeners to remember?
I want them to feel empowered by IT, not intimidated. It's easy to get bogged down by all the jargon or just feel completely overwhelmed by all the choices out there. But at the end of the day, IT, it's about using technology to achieve your goals, your business goals, whether it's through strategic outsourcing, embracing the cloud, finally taking cybersecurity seriously. There are solutions out there, no matter your budget, no matter your business.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
100%. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling stuck or just overwhelmed or like technology is holding you back, take that first step. Do your research. Have those conversations. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You might be surprised at how much easier it can be than you think.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the world of IT. Remember, in the business world, knowledge is power. And having the right IT solutions in place, well, that's power you can take to the bank. Till next time, keep exploring, keep innovating, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.